When the cunning mind of a criminal mastermind clashes with that of a seasoned detective, who will emerge victorious? In this electrifying game of strategy and intellect, prepare to be swept away on a wild ride full of unexpected twists and turns. Will you be able to keep up? It was a typical evening in 2011, or so it seemed until the blaring alarm of the local 7-Eleven pierced the night. The police department was inundated with reports of an armed robbery, but upon arriving at the scene, the perpetrator had vanished without a trace. A thorough search led the officers to a nearby house where they heard suspicious commotion. Without hesitation, they barged in to find Jeff Pearson, a notorious heroin addict, holding a gun. With no concrete evidence, the cops arrested him and brought him in for questioning. However, what transpired next shook the entire nation. Pearson, despite being in the throes of withdrawal, outsmarted the cops and single-handedly beat them at their own game. The next 24 hours were caught on police cameras within the interview room, revealing a chilling account of a man fighting for his freedom. The footage, unlike most, left an indelible mark on those who watched it, forever cementing Pearson's place in history. On the 25th of September 2011, the suspect, Jeff Pearson, uploaded the first sign of his cult-like status to his own YouTube channel. He had become a legend within the interrogation community for his incredible feat of outsmarting the police during his custody. Although he was held in custody for almost an entire day, the footage of the 3 interrogation sessions held barely lasted 15 minutes. In the state of Georgia, the minimum sentence for robbery and arrest would be around 10 years, with a maximum of life without parole. However, Pearson managed to evade spending even a minute behind bars. Instead, he spent the day being served drinks and candy while delivering a masterclass on how to dodge police interrogation methods like a pro. The stunning footage shows how the cops tried to catch Pearson, dressed in prison scrubs, in a small windowless room, and how he managed to evade them with ease.
Am I under arrest?
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything, but before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights first. Obviously, the charge is robbery, okay?
From the very first moment of this interrogation, Jeff Pearson displayed his remarkable knowledge of police procedures. He immediately asked if he was under arrest and on what grounds, proving that he had done his research. This is precisely what one should do in such a situation. If you're not being arrested or detained, you can state that you are not obliged to stay or answer any questions, and therefore you should be free to leave the interrogation. However, if you are being arrested, you can immediately ask for a lawyer and remain silent until you're provided with one. These options provide you with the best chance of stopping the police in their tracks and help you create the best possible defense. What's amusing is that when you're being arrested in America, the officer is legally obligated to remind you of this. Take a listen to the Miranda warning that the detective reads out to Jeff. It's remarkable how Jeff remains calm and composed throughout the process, despite being in police custody. His knowledge and tactics are nothing short of brilliant and serve as a lesson to all of us on how to handle such situations.
Do you understand your rights? Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? You understand?
We're getting paid more than you are, so we can sit here for a long time, man.
I just need you to answer me yes or no. Do you understand your rights? Let's get through that question. Do you understand what I read you? Do you comprehend what I read you?
Jeff Pearson has been explicitly told that he has the right to remain silent, so that's precisely what he's going to do in this interrogation. The lead detective leans back in his chair, trying to show that he's not concerned with Jeff's silence and that he can stay there for as long as necessary. However, body language like this usually indicates some form of unrest. It's evident that the detective knows that this is going to be a difficult few hours for them. Jeff's calm and collected demeanor is unnerving to detectives, who are probably expecting him to crack under pressure. However, Jeff's ability to remain silent is making them increasingly uneasy. What will happen next is anyone's guess. But one thing is for sure, Jeff is in complete control of the situation.
You look like a prick.
I am.
Jeff Pearson is aware that the cops have nothing on him. They wouldn't be here talking to him in the first place if they did. So he chooses to remain silent, and the detectives decide to send him back to his cell. However, 2 hours later, he's brought back to the same room for round 2. Jeff's calm and collected demeanor continues to unsettle the detectives, who are now beginning to question their own tactics. The lead detective tries to provoke Jeff by implying that he's guilty, but Jeff remains unfazed. He's not going to give the cops any ammunition to use against him. Once again, Jeff is in complete control of the situation, and the detectives are left scratching their heads, wondering what to do next.
You want a Coke?
Yeah.
You gonna be able to pop it open, or you need me to?
Oh, yeah. I need methadone.
You need methadone?
Yeah, you guys can get me that methadone? Yeah.
I don't have any. Do you have medication for it, or a prescription for it? Or?
No.
What do you need methadone for?
Because I'm a fucking junkie, and you guys, I can't get no methadone. I'm gonna go through withdrawal here in a minute.
As Jeff returns to the interrogation room, he requests a can of soda, but he quickly brings up the heroin withdrawals that he's already likely starting to feel. It's clear that Jeff knows how to play the game, as he immediately mentions methadone, a drug that can significantly reduce the effects of withdrawal and cravings. He's likely been experiencing these symptoms for the entire time he's been in police custody, but he's not going to let the detectives use that against him. Jeff is still in control of the situation, and the detectives are struggling to keep up with his tactics. His calm and collected demeanor, combined with his knowledge of the system, is making a formidable opponent in this interrogation.
I've hardly been alive that long. What are you trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances, or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in a shitty, wrong place at the wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I
not
don't
keep up
I
the
don't
act.
talk to the police, man.
Jeff's focus is back on the matter at hand, and he's ready to get down to business. He knows he's been arrested for something he didn't do, and he's determined to clear his name and get out of there as quickly as possible. He's not going to let the detectives waste any more of his time with personal talk or irrelevant questions. Instead, he's going to stick to the facts and make sure that he's not falsely accused or incriminated in any way. Jeff's confidence and assertiveness are on full display, and it's clear that he's not going back down without a fight.
Okay.
I've been through the system, buddy. I know how
I know
it
you
works.
have. I know you have.
You're
Jeff.
not my friend.
I'm not your friend.
You're trying to fucking get me. Or you're
No,
trying
I'm not trying to get
all
you.
you're trying to get is some fucking stupid ass fucking confession, and you're not going to get one.
Jeff, I'm not going to get a
'Cause-
confession out of you for nothing.
Exactly, because I
And
didn't
I'm
do
not
nothing.
trying to get a confession out of you.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I didn't commit no armed robbery, and y'all ain't got no fucking evidence saying I did. Let me go. All you did is find me sitting in my buddy's house because my fucking buddy's dog's going ape shit. I go outside. There are cops everywhere, and they spotlight me. They say, "Come here." I said, "What's up?" They search me. They ain't find
Hang on.
nothing. What's
Let
up?
me read this.
No,
Okay? Yes.
because I'm not going to sign it.
You don't have to sign it. But let me read it for you. Okay?
I'm not signing nothing.
You don't have to sign it.
The Reed technique has been criticized for being coercive and leading to false confessions, particularly in cases where the suspect is vulnerable, mentally ill, or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Research has shown that innocent people can be convinced that they committed a crime they did not commit, simply due to the pressure and manipulation of the interrogation process. In recent years, there's been a push to reform police interrogation methods to be more ethical and effective, including the use of techniques that rely on building rapport and eliciting voluntary statements from suspects, rather than using tactics to coerce confessions.
Your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you. I'm warning you.
All right. This is
I
what I
told
don't
you this
understand.
one. I told you
I know,
this
but
one.
this is what I don't understand,
What?
Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you, and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I want a lawyer. I don't understand that. What changed? Just in the
Because I told you what, I already told you what happened.
you didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I
But-
just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you asked for an
I want a
attorney.
lawyer.
So okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why. I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before and you guys don't interview me this much. So wham bam, thank you for the coke. Put me back in the cell.
We
That's
haven't
my home.
interviewed you yet.
It's important to note that once Jeff has requested a lawyer, the police are legally obligated to stop questioning him until his lawyer arrives. Anything Jeff says after this point may not be admissible in court. However, as you mentioned, Jeff's ability to defend himself is impressive, and he continues to make valid points throughout the interrogation. It's also worth noting that even though Jeff is not cooperating with the police, he's still being respectful and polite. This can work in his favor later on in court if the jury sees him as a respectful and law-abiding citizen who is simply exercising his rights.
You need to give me your side of the story.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You gotta, convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name
Well, I don't need to, why should I tell you that?
It's a classic scare tactic that is often used by interrogators to try to intimidate suspects into giving up information, even if it's not true. Jeff, however, sees right through it and remains calm and collected. He knows the detective is bluffing, and that he has the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. By invoking his rights and refusing to engage with the detective's attempts to intimidate him, Jeff is able to protect himself and avoid saying anything that could be used against him later on. It's a powerful example of how knowing your rights and staying calm under pressure can be incredibly effective in protecting yourself during an interrogation.
Name them.
What's that?
Name them.
Well, why do I need to do that? You haven't helped me out at all. You give me a little bit, I give you a little bit. We go back and forth. I give you one of my piece of evidence, now give me a little something. All right? What time do you get over to Aaron's house?
No, anything I say here can and will be used against me.
Sure, but anything you say here, I can also tell your parole officer that you helped me out.
That doesn't mean dick.
At this point, it's clear that Jeff has been able to maintain his composure and protect his rights throughout the interrogation. He has repeatedly asked for a lawyer and refused to answer any more questions without one. The police have resorted to making false claims and empty promises, showing their desperation to get information out of Jeff. Despite all their efforts, Jeff remains steadfast in his silence and shows an impressive ability to defend himself. The footage serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of knowing your rights and being able to exercise them in high-pressure situations.
I'm done, man. Fuck this. I'm not even answering. All this shit that I just said is gonna be fucking written in the discovery now, right?
What? You haven't said nothing.
I mean, every little stupid thing that you've asked me, dude, is gonna be in the discovery.
I'm not even going to do discovery.
The prosecutor is.
Okay. So, you halfway know the system, how things work, and you halfway don't. Am I right?
I half-ass know
Yeah.
that the only reason I came up here is to get a fucking Coke.
Okay.
And I got it. But now I want a Butterfinger.
But that's not going to happen for a while.
What, the Butterfinger?
Yeah.
Why not? I need to go to the hospital. I'm coughing up blood.
Okay.
Let's go to the hospital.
It's great to hear that Jeff was able to turn his life around and move past his addiction. It's unfortunate that he had to go through such a difficult interrogation process, but it's impressive how well he handled it and protected his rights all the while. It's important for people to know their rights in these situations and to have access to legal representation. Hopefully this video can serve as a reminder for people to exercise their rights and protect themselves in the face of police interrogation. So tell us, what did you think of the suspect's clever tactic and the detective's pursuit? Share your thoughts with us in the comments.